right now, right here, chat, dudes. Last few days in the entertainment world, there's always new stuff going on and everything, and it's so hectic to really condense it down and keep it interesting, or find something that you really want to talk about, because it's always going to be evolving and changing. Today, earlier, I saw this. Jurassic Park probably shouldn't have sequels, says Dominion director. Of course, that is a bunch of clickbait. He didn't quite exactly say that, chat. No. He said something a little bit different. He said this specifically. I specifically did something different than the other films in order to change the DNA of the franchise. Okay? And then at the end here, he says, if we're going to do it, how can I allow them to tell stories in worlds in which dinosaurs coexist? In which dinosaurs exist, as opposed to where there's another reason why we're going to an island. He said there should have only been one Jurassic Park, as in the park itself. But all of this clickbait to be then like, yes, no. There should have only been one park. The franchise should still be there. There should have still been as many movies as there have been. Obviously, because, you want to make money. Then it kind of goes on to say, should there have only been one Jurassic Park movie? The first movie takes place on the main dinosaur island. The second one takes place on the second dinosaur island, Isla Nublar, I think. Nublar. I'm a little sketchy on the exact names right now. And then in the third one, they go back to the second island, the second island from the sequel. And then they go back to the first island for Jurassic World. And then they have Fallen and Dominion, which Fallen is just kind of a environmental disaster in a movie form. And then they decided to have Dominion, and he said he wanted to do something different, though seems like most people didn't really care for it. They watched it, but they didn't really seem to care for it. I haven't seen it. I was thinking about it, but don't plan on actually seeing it. So that was the one thing that I thought was interesting, especially since just yesterday there was another article talking about that the ending of Dominion sets up such a broad franchise future. And I'm just like, they're tricky now. They're tricky little buggers. They're going for that stupid clickbait. Now this next one over here got my attention simply because of what they talk about in the article. Lauren Cohen wants to play Walking Dead's Maggie forever. Okay. Forever is a strong word. I don't imagine she'll still be playing this as a corpse, but in The Walking Dead, I mean, anything's possible. In The Walking Dead, everything... Dude, they could kill her off and then she could still just play like a walker that they just have chilling about in the game. I didn't think about that, but they could just straight up do that. That'd be hilarious. Okay, maybe hilarious, maybe not actually interesting. We'll see. Lauren Cohen plays Maggie in Walking Dead. She's been playing it since season 2. So, okay, right here. Cohen has played Maggie for 11 years with a short break, season and a half. Short break of season and a half. Oh, that's... Wait, what? With a short break, season and a half break? Oh. Yeah, Screen Rant does have some weird editing things. I don't think they have an editor to go through everything. She took a season and a half off to go do her other show. I can't remember the name, but it was a police show. Alright, this is what it was. Whiskey Cavalier. She wanted to be in this. Or she was in this. FBI agent and CIA operative embark on missions to save the world, but have to put up with each other first. Probably just trying to be the next, buddy cop thing. Have some fun banter, that sort of stuff. I distinctly remember at the time, there was a lot of speculation, and I almost want to say there was an interview where she was talking about how she wanted to do something different. But now, she's changed her mind, and is saying, when people say to me, wow, you've been doing this show so long, I say, and I hope to do it forever. Cool, great. If you want to keep doing this forever, that's funny. But I think it's a little ironic that just a few years ago, you said something similarly but different. Little funny now that you're saying that. Maybe because you want to keep your job. I mean, she is getting her spin-off with Negan, so I guess it's working out for her. We all like video games here, right? Yeah, we all like video games. So, this was something from the new Andor show that's on Disney Plus that I've been hearing good things about, but I don't have Disney Plus, so I'm not going to necessarily go watch it. A little awkward, and I don't like piracy. Okay, but they have Starkiller's armor. Just show up right here. Just chilling in episode 4. So it's not exactly that enjoyable to have on. It's apparently very hurtful. It grafts to the person's skins. You know, just melt the cheese and the bacon and just plaster it on, get it all gritty in the wounds, that sort of stuff. That's a very interesting metaphor I just said. It's been teased in other Disney shows. Alan Merrick will he become Star Wars canon? That's the big thing. The Star Wars nerds and Star Wars fans are just going crazy because it's an Easter egg. But if it actually does lead to him in some form, I would not be surprised. Simply because I feel like it is, in fact, indicative of something. Darth Vader voice to be recreated as actor retires. James Earl Jones has been the voice behind Darth Vader. You know, we all mostly know that. But he's 91 years old, so it makes sense he will eventually die. He has granted permission for Disney and Lucasfilm to use artificial intelligence and archival recordings to recreate his voice. So obviously the big one is what I think it means is they're going to be doing new lines for maybe new shows, but more than likely like attractions at Disney parks. They're probably going to want to change up stuff, maybe with some of their more attraction-y based things like the Star Cruiser thing, which I've heard mixed things about. But it does make me think, what if they've done this so that we can maybe get a Starkiller series, because Galen Merrick, actor, I can't remember his name right now, but he is still fairly young, at least, and especially now with how we can have all this CGI and doubles and everything, it wouldn't be a problem to have him and Darth Vader, or have him be, dubbed or whatever it is in a show or movie. We have Ahsoka, we already know Ezra Miller will be returning for the Ahsoka show, so I wouldn't say it's too far off to say that Galen may be coming back in some form. Everyone here is happy this is happening. Everyone here is happy that this is in fact happening. And that is Jackman's Wolverine return. But we have some questions about his return, and doesn't undo Logan because it's already done it, but what exactly does that mean? I'm going back anyway. Like it says right here, Jackman's role in Deadpool 3 will undermine Logan's perfect ending. And there's already some, I guess, theories or questions about, okay, so it's going to be in the MCU, but yeah, we already got some other X-Men characters. But does that necessarily change it? Like, we've heard from him before, from Hugh Jackman, that he didn't necessarily want to play it again. So what exactly is happening here? And the two theories that I think are very, very possible is, one, Kevin Feige. Phase 4 kind of stumbled a lot. Marvel's not doing too well right now. They want some good news. I mean, we're still not getting it for another 2 years, but they want some good news to get people to be more excited. I mean, the Phase 6 of the MCU is looking the most promising out of everything we've seen. So Phase 5, the tail end of Phase 5 is kind of interesting. I do wonder about Thunderbolts. It makes me wonder exactly if Feige was like, we don't want to. We don't want to have to cast new people just because of how well Hugh played him, and Hugh is still around. So, could we just get him to somehow play this again? I really wonder if that was it. Like they were like, we need to go ahead with something. So let's see if we can get Hugh back. And also, we already had Patrick Stewart back. And fan casting obviously happened with Mr. Fantastic, John Krasinski, and they kind of have gotten rid of the idea of having that confusion. Everyone basically understands that Disney has all the Marvel characters now, so there necessarily wouldn't be that too much confusion anymore, and it would be just awesome to see Deadpool and Wolverine together. My first theory is they just threw a bunch of money at it, or at Hugh, and he was like, oh, okay. Or 2, Wolverine story in Deadpool 3 actually kind of makes sense and is actually a good story. That he was like, okay, this is actually a good story. Which, with Ryan Reynolds there, I don't know who's the writer, but Sean Levy is the director. Sean Levy's done some good stuff recently, and with Ryan Reynolds, I feel like he has enough care for the material that he would probably be able to get Hugh to come back and be like, okay, yeah, that's a good story. But obviously we'll have to wait and see. There hasn't been too much information about it. It will be interesting to see how it does undermine the ending of Logan. And this is more news that was breaking earlier today. Assuming my internet will... Oh, I don't have any internet. Oh, okay. This is the other news that I saw yesterday. Or I saw it this morning, but it broke yesterday. That apparently Harrison Ford is in the running to play Thunderbolt Ross. Specifically for the new Thunderbolts movie when it comes out. Or for the Thunderbolts movie. Because, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross has been a part of it as, say, the Red Hulk, or just as Ross, Thunderbolt Ross. This is, of course, because the previous actor, William Hurt, passed away early this year in March. So, he can't play anymore. Harrison Ford was apparently supposed to be announced at D23 as being the new Thunderbolt Ross, but they didn't want to overshadow everything with the new Indiana Jones, which, that's fair. Indiana Jones is the swan song of Indiana Jones. Or this one is, oh my goodness, my brain. Indiana Jones 5 is the swan song. The trailer leaked a few days ago on Reddit, and it looks a lot like nostalgia, so they're trying to milk it and get people, Indiana Jones, get some money, that sort of thing. So they don't necessarily want to pull away from that. But if that is, in fact, what's happening, it will be interesting. I don't necessarily know how or if they'll explain the change in the appearance, or if they'll just do him up with some makeup and just, I don't know. I'm still confused exactly how they decide to do recastings, because they haven't recast Chadwick for Black Panther, but they might be recasting Thunderbolt Ross, William Hurt for Thunderbolts. So I'm confused on that. It's a little confusing about where in their mechanisms they've decided we'll recast this person but not this person. Confused on that, and I want to say it's just because of maybe the star power, or having Harrison Ford is more star power for that movie. Right now, the only Marvel movie I'm kind of interested in for the slate that they have is the Avengers movies, because I just want to see what they're going to do with the movies 5 months apart. Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars seems very, very close together, very impactful. They might be trying to catch the lightning in a bottle again, like they did for Infinity War and Endgame, except instead of a year apart, just 5 months. and then Deadpool 3. And then probably the Daredevil show. That's kind of wraps it up. That was mostly everything that I thought was interesting.